Well, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott voted against the latest spending bill, but fellow Republican Senator Lindsey Graham is for it. It includes quite a bit of money for the Lowcountry, specifically Mount Pleasant, Folly Beach, and the Peninsula. Our Kennedy Buck is working for you to find out what this money could go towards.
Beach erosion, inland flooding, and storm surges. They're some of the many issues the Lowcountry faces. But with Senator Lindsey Graham's proposed bill, new funding would go towards fixing these problems.
So there's lots to do. This money will probably help the Army Corps of Engineers start what we call the feasibility and planning phase for the next renourishment project.
Senator Graham hopes to secure a little more than $13 million to protect the Charleston Peninsula from storm surge. Nearly $6 million is for Mount Pleasant to help with drainage, and $500,000 would go to Folly Beach to help with shoreline erosion.
The dunes are eroding, the beach is eroded so much that now the sand dunes are even eroding, which means we're in a pretty severe erosion situation here, and it's time for us to restore the beach by putting some sand back in place.
Coastal consulting experts say the funding is a long time coming.
The last project was 4 years ago, so the last time we were nourished was 2018. Adding to that Hurricane Ian, Tropical Storm Nicole, so this increased the erosional problem.
Through it all, officials say they're grateful work is being done to protect local cities and towns.
Everyone is really focused on assisting the communities with resilience because this is why we live in South Carolina. The beautiful beaches, the beautiful nature that we have here are really a draw for tourism and a driver of the economy.
Working for you, Kennedy Buck, ABC News 4.
The spending bill passed the Senate today. It'll now move on to the House. Senator Graham released a statement saying in part the bill, quote, gives a much needed boost to the Department of Defense and a well-deserved pay raise for our men and women in uniform. A 10% increase in defense spending will add real dollars to our defense budget, end quote. Meanwhile, President Biden just signed the Quantum Computing Cybersecurity Preparedness Act, a bipartisan bill authored by South Carolina Representative Nancy Mace and California Democratic Representative Ro Khanna. The new law will require the Office of Management and Budget to prioritize funding and find new ways to protect federal information from being decrypted. It comes as the potential for encryptions rise as quantum computers become more advanced.
Our Floriana Boardman joins us live now. She tells us how homelessness has become more widespread over the years in the Lowcountry. Floriana.
Katie, 322. That's how many homeless people were counted on a single night throughout the Lowcountry in January this year. That's according to the 2022 State of Homelessness report. But advocates I spoke with today say that number doesn't even begin to tell the whole story.
The things you see is heartbreaking. It's just like, Lord, something has to happen.
So it definitely Katrina Sinclair is the founder and executive director of Jean's Angels, a nonprofit providing mobile showers and laundry trailers to the homeless.
Sometimes people need their dignity restored, and that's the reason why we built the shower trailer.
Sinclair says she's seen the homeless population grow just in the past 6 months.
There's a need to really get out and help them. Like right now, it is freezing. So I feel terrible because, they have nowhere to go.
Data shows the state's estimated homeless population is at more than 13,000. As temperatures drop, there isn't enough shelter for those in need.
Everything you can give is a blessing to the homeless, but it's not enough. The women's shelters are open in the evenings, but during the day, like today, it's raining, it's cold, and they have no shelter to protect them.
With shelters like 180 placed at maximum capacity, lawmakers say it's time to take action.
It's good to feed people, but until you teach them where to go out and work, until you give them places to go out to get medically treated for mental health or whatever the case might be.
But at the end of the day, a caring heart can go a long way.
You can give someone money, you can give someone things that will help them for a little bit, but sometimes it takes just that smile, or it takes someone to say, I believe in you, you can do this, will go a little further than money will.
In January, the Lowcountry Continuum of Care will perform its annual point-in-time count to get the most updated numbers for the area. They're asking for volunteers to help with the count. For more information, look for this story on the homepage of our website at abcnews4.com.